you wanna let me go, nah, nah, now? Are you saying that you change your mind? For love or pity, let me know, nah, nah, now. Cause your love made me go blind. What am I hearing? Saying you're moving back. When were you gonna tell me that? What am I hearing? It feels like a heart attack. Someone help me.
Hi ladies, and welcome back to another clean, declutter and organize video with me. Today we are tackling my son's room and also the office, which has just gotten a little bit out of control with just random paperwork. But we are starting here in my son's room. It's not hugely decluttered, so I thought, because by the end of our decluttering of this room, you're gonna see how many bags of things I took out, which I was shocked with because it didn't look that way. And we are starting with this corner because we just got that shelf unit that you see. My son likes to assemble Legos, and they were basically on the floor, and he had like a little two shelf unit, very low to the ground, and it wasn't enough. So we got this piece from IKEA. I really like it, and we decided to just start with putting things on it, leaving what he is currently playing with on the floor and pieces that he is not playing with currently that he wants on display on the shelves. So he was helping me with that, telling me where he wants things placed. And I was just really happy to finally get this because it has been something on my to-do list for a long time. And the second area is his closet. He lately has been complaining that he has nothing to wear, which is unusual coming from him. He used to be definitely very whatever is in my closet, I'll wear. He was not picky with his clothes that much. But because he was saying that, we decided to go through his closet so he can really point out things he really enjoys wearing versus the things he does not. So I know what kinds of clothes to buy for him. He doesn't like to go shopping with me, so that's what makes it a little challenging. So I took this opportunity for him to, he was sorting, as I was cleaning this corner, he was sorting the clothes he likes, that he doesn't like, and he was putting away anything that was no longer his size. We are at this stage where some of his clothes are just, too small. So he was sorting that for me as I was cleaning his closet, where he still had some of his old toys that when we did his, I think in the spring was the last time when we went through his room, and he still had, so it was almost, a year ago. So he left some of the toys that he was not sure if he wants to get rid of yet. And when we went through it this time, everything from his closet went. He did not keep a single toy that he was holding on to. He said he no longer plays with it, to go ahead and donate that. So that's why I think you're gonna see a lot of stuff that came out of the closet. It was nicely hidden. It was not really cluttering, the space in his room, but there was definitely a lot of things we got rid of. So let me know in the comments, how often do you go through your kids' rooms to do that decluttering session, organizing, whatever it is. Let me know, because I'm curious, how often does that happen in your house?
Why don't we say that it's too late for us now? Why do we stay when I blame you for the things that weigh me down? 'Cause in the echo of your silence, I only hear what's best for me. Yeah, in the echo of your silence, I'm thinking more of her. She who wants to study your body, who gets the better version of you. I need the bitter truth. I need the better version of you.
if you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Marta. I am a full-time working mom of 2. This is clearly my son's room. He is 10 years old, and I also have a daughter who is 7. And on my channel, you're gonna see a lot of videos about just home management, so cleaning, decluttering, organizing, different types of routines as a working mom. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely make sure that you subscribe below. And I wanted to ask all of you, how is 2023 going so far for you? We are already in the middle of January, so I feel like time is definitely flying by. Between December and January, we had about 2 weeks where kids were off from school. And even though I did still work for the most part of it, I feel like we definitely had much more time for just relax, more laid back, less activities in the evenings for kids. So it definitely was a good time to recharge. And now it's definitely came back full force with all the kids' activities and work and all of that. And definitely a lot of new energy to just tackle some of the goals that I have for my house. So I mentioned in the last video, I want to go through every single space in my house and declutter it. So this is not the first time that I'm decluttering. Last year I went through a huge wave where I decluttered a lot of things. So if you want to see how the house looked like before, definitely check out some of the previous videos. But this year it's almost like a wave 2 where I'm going through it again, because I found that the first time I went through it, it was hard. It was hard to get rid of some of the things. And the more often I do it, I find it gets much easier. So I want to go through it one more time and get rid of anything that perhaps I was not ready to get rid of the first time around. And really, the goal is to get my house in a maintenance mode where I don't have to anymore do huge decluttering sessions, just do them, but on a much smaller scale, just to maintain the level of, level of clutter, or less clutter, level of things that I have in my house. So let me know where you are on your decluttering journey, or if you are on a decluttering journey at all. And let me know if there are any things that you are struggling with as you are decluttering your house, if you perhaps have a hard time getting started, or if there is a specific area in your house that is hard to declutter. And I can definitely share some of the things that I found that have been working for me. But what you see me do here is those are all the clothes he's getting rid of. So it's a huge pile. I was pretty shocked by it. A lot of them were too small for him, and some of them were just things that he just simply did not enjoy wearing. So I just took his lead. Whatever he said he doesn't want to wear, he doesn't like the style or the texture, whatever it was, I followed his lead, and we basically got rid of all of those things that you see over here. And when I say got rid of, they are all going to my nephew, who is, we always exchange clothes. My sister-in-law gives me clothes after her daughter for my daughter, and I do the same thing for her son. So it's not like they were going to trash or anything, but it felt really good for him to go through that process, because now I know the things that he enjoys wearing. I know what he doesn't like, so I won't be buying things moving forward that I know he is not gonna wear, and they're just gonna be cluttering his closet. And then I was putting away the things in his dresser that he already, those are already sorted through, and I wanted to organize them in a way that it's easy for him to find things. So just reorganize it a little bit. So I was basically sorting by categories. One drawer was for his undergarments, one drawer was for pants and shorts, and the last one was for his pajamas, and everything else is hanging in a closet.
Funny how the story goes, little hope but bigger dreams. They try to bring a sucker down, singing louder than the crowd. That's on the rhythm, I'm feeling brand new. Keep pushing forward, it's gonna save you. Never look down, love, not when we shine so bright. The sun is getting warmer.
And his top drawer, as you can see, was just full of random things. So I asked him to go through that, and then I just put things away that were there. I did put some of those frames in the cabinet because for one of them I need a picture of him to put in there, and then we need to hang it somewhere because they were not really doing well with standing. They were kept falling over, so that's why I put them back in a drawer. I just put one out on his dresser, which I don't even know for how much longer he will like me to, or he will enjoy having that on his dresser, because those are like his baby pictures, and I feel like within the next maybe few months he will tell me that that's not something he wants in his room anymore, as he's entering those pre-teen years. But for now I'm keeping it there, and once he decides not to, we'll move them to another room in the house, or just, you know, as a keepsake for now. And in his desk, I honestly didn't do too much decluttering over there. I just kind of made sure that the top of his desk was clear. It probably needed some more attention, but at this point I was just trying to get things finished, and I feel like in his drawers it's gonna be much more productive when we go through those at the end of the school year during summertime. He doesn't have really that much clutter in there. It's just kind of figuring out what things he still likes, as far as all his like art supplies. He honestly doesn't use his desk all that much. So we got it when we were during pandemic, where he had to, you know, do school from home. So he needed a space for that. And now for the majority of the time, he does his homework in downstairs in his playroom. There is a table, so that's where he really likes to do his homework. That way, in case he has a question, you know, I'm not that far away. So we will see if that changes then when he is gonna go to middle school next year, if he's gonna have, you know, more things to do. So we will see if he's using that desk more often. That's what I'm saying with as far as like the organization within his drawers. I'm trying not to pay too much attention to it right now, because I feel like next year is gonna be like a big transition year for him as far as that goes. So let me know if your kids are in middle school and what was like the transition like between, you know, the elementary and middle school, how that went, what I should be ready for, not just with home organization, but like in general, what I should do to prep for that.
You and me stuck on the ocean now, nothing but waves in this filling in. I wanna dry up, but you just keep on going, don't you? I don't even know how we got here. All my reasoning have disappeared. I wanna bury the hatchet and find the way back to our home, our home, our home. We don't have to drift inside this dome. I will not let us fade away. It's not a price I wanna pay, and it's not too late. No, we lost our purpose, chasing all that surplus. You were all that I need. I feel that we can break free. We can still go back there to a place with no cares. We can turn this ship around. We can turn this ship around.
And here is the end result. I don't know if you can really tell that the amount of stuff is much, much less than it was before. Most of those hangers are just hangers, empty, no clothes. And it made such a huge difference for him as far as getting ready in the morning, because he didn't have to go through, you know, a full row of clothes he doesn't even like and doesn't want to wear. So it made things so much easier for him, and I absolutely love this corner. It made things much more organized for him, and it's easier for him to play. And as you can see, all this stuff is for either donation or to my sister-in-law. It's 2 huge IKEA bags, some backpacks, some old bedding. I was amazed that all of this was in his room, so definitely a huge accomplishment of that day. And now we're moving on to my office. So this was not on the same day. This is actually a footage from a few weeks ago when I really got overwhelmed with my office. So as you look at it right now, you're probably thinking, I don't see any clutter. So it was nicely put away in those folders on the wall and in a cabinet that I have over there. Just when I get like in a really crazy season, which usually, that was, so as like I said, this was a few weeks ago, so like before Christmas, and there is like influx of paperwork from school, from different activities, and it just feels like overwhelming. So my go-to reaction is to hide it away in a drawer, in a folder, and deal with it when I have some time. So this is me dealing with it, because even though for you might not be able to see it, I know it's there, and it has been driving me crazy, especially because I couldn't find some of the things. I knew it came through my office, it came through my desk, I know I put it somewhere, and I couldn't find it. And that's annoying when I know it's somewhere in this nicely organized clutter, as I like to call it. So it was really time. I needed to just go through all those papers and just declutter, get rid of anything I didn't need, and whatever I needed to put it where it actually belongs. So let me know if you also struggle with paperwork. I feel like this is the part where I'm still trying to figure it out. I did a huge declutter of the office last year, and this is a lot better than it used to be. I feel like before, there was so much paperwork, like on a weekly basis. I kept having that. So I made a lot of changes last year. A lot of things are, I switched to electronic bills. I don't get them in the mail, and that helped a lot. But there is still a lot of stuff coming in, and I'm still learning how to deal with it on a more regular basis, so I am not stuck doing what I'm doing here right now, just having that so many things, so many piles of papers that I have to go through. So let me know if this is also an area that you are struggling with, and if you have any tips, if you have been able to develop any consistent habits that you don't get to this point.
A million people in the crowd, but I only see your face in all the lights. And as the bass keep pounding on me, baby, I really wanna make you mine. I don't really care about love. I don't really care about happy ever afters. Something about you gives me hope. Something about you, yeah. When the sun goes down and the night sky's falling, do you believe in one-time lovers? 'Cause deep inside of my wildest dreams, you'll be by my side when the sun goes
So there are a few things that I will be working on this year to try to tackle this challenge of paperwork that I am struggling with. As I was going through those papers, there were basically some themes I was noticing, of things that I put in this pile that I don't know how to deal with. I still had a lot of envelopes with addresses to make sure that when it's time to send Christmas cards, that I send them. So I don't know how. It has been clearly a year since last Christmas, right? So what I did is, I definitely put them on my computer in an Excel file, so I have it organized. So that was one of the things. The other ones is with things like with different recipes. As I find them, I print them, and eventually it makes it to the binder. And I found that sometimes I have either repetitive recipes or just recipes I don't use anymore, and it's just, I don't know, they just create piles not only on my desk but also in a recipe binder. So definitely one of those smaller projects I need to do is go through my recipe binder and organize it and get rid of, just literally declutter it, because I feel like I have too many recipes, and it's kind of like in my son's closet. When it's time to meal prep for the week, I don't know what to pick. I feel like there is nothing I like or that I want to do, and yet my binder is really thick. So I definitely need some decluttering to narrow down the options, so I actually know what I want to prep for the next week. And the last thing really was just finding the time, or not even finding, creating time, creating a habit of going, not even going through the paperwork, but putting things away. So it's something that I do on a weekly basis, or just going into a habit of during the day when something crosses my desk that I actually put it away right away. So that's something that definitely needs to be worked on, and I just have to find what works best for me, whether it is that daily habit or whether that is a weekly habit, depending on what's really gonna stick. So if you have any tips on that, what works for you, definitely, like I said, let me know down below.
Surrounding me, baby, I'm sure we lost track of time. I don't really care about love. I don't really care about happy ever afters. Something about you gives me hope. Something about you, yeah.
And as far as my next projects, one of the very next ones, I believe, is the kitchen decluttering. I already started that. I need to finish. There are definitely some things have been holding on to that I need to get rid of. So that will be, I believe, my next video. So definitely stay tuned for that. I do have to not perhaps declutter the office, because I feel like I don't have much to declutter anymore after the big declutter last year, but there is still some things I would like to organize now that I don't have as much clutter in my office closet. And like I said, a lot of just decluttering throughout the house, going through each room, making sure that I do my due diligence. And the other types of videos you will see in the upcoming weeks is definitely some routines that I have. So definitely make sure that you are subscribed. I want to thank you for being here today and either decluttering or cleaning with me or organizing with me. I truly appreciate your support. So thank you for watching today's video, and I will see you next time.
Something about you, yeah.